Do you want to go about your whole life just carrying around these emotions that you're not even aware of? What is going on, guys? This is Caleb from A New Expression, where we help you become your greatest self. Now, it is pretty early in the morning. I have a lot of things to do this morning and this entire day, so I decided to wake up early. Not too early, but pretty early. So it's 6:52. 6:52. As you can see, I just texted my girlfriend good morning, and she said, "Why are you up so early?" So, yeah, that's that. But so I wanted to record this video, and the topic of this video, I wanted to talk about your past history, right? Your past dramas, your past memories that are filled with a lot of emotions, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because, in personal development, right, with self-growth and, just becoming a better person, a lot of that has to do with revisiting past traumas. Revisiting past traumas that have a lot of emotions to it. We all have past experiences where we either have, heavy emotions where maybe we still hold resentment, maybe we still hold anxiety, embarrassment, insecurity. Those moments where there was a lot of emotions for you, either as a kid or, in high school or whenever it was. Those past traumas we still carry around. And it's like we're walking around with every past trauma that we didn't resolve, everything that we didn't work out and accept. We're carrying around those emotions, and we think since we are past it that we're over it, right? We think that since we're not going to think about it, since we're not going to bring it up anymore, it's gone. It's not going to come up ever again. But that's false. Right, we still carry around those memories and those emotions. So it's like we're going around about our day, and we're just, people get that sense of feeling because we're walking around with this heavy baggage, and we're unconscious of this. We're unconscious of the fact that we are carrying around these emotions. And the whole thing with personal development is, or a big part of it is to find those past traumas, bring up those past traumas, those times where you felt these heavy emotions, where you felt embarrassed, where you felt anxiety, those times where you felt like you were the only one, going through it, and bring up those emotions, bring up those times. And I get that it's hard, right? It's hard. No one wants to revisit hard times. No one wants to go through the whole experience over again, because oftentimes when we think about something from the past, if we haven't resolved that emotion, that emotion can be brought up again. And the reason why it's so important to revisit these hard times, and you might be asking me, like, Caleb, why would I want to experience these emotions again? Why would I want to revisit these hard times? Why would I want to work that out? Well, why wouldn't you? Do you want to go about your whole life just carrying around these emotions that you're not even aware of? Or would you rather deal with the feelings at first, right? Deal with the hard emotions, deal with the heavy baggage. Yeah, it's going to be hard to look back and really deal with these emotions, but once you resolve them, you resolve them. They're gone. So you're not going to go around with this heavy burden. Right, that's one heavy burden off your shoulders, and you feel a sense of, lightness, right? You feel lighter after you worked out those emotions, because we're like, every time we strip out each emotion and each past trauma that we had, we get lighter in a way. We feel lighter in a sense. And so that's what really personal development is going back to those dark moments, going back to those times where, those past failures where you might have, bashed yourself or really felt embarrassed, and bring up those times and work out why you felt those emotions, work out why you felt like that. Because oftentimes when we fail or we do things that relate back to that memory, those emotions are brought up again. Those thoughts that you had, those beliefs that you maybe conjured up in that moment are brought up again when you have the same experience, or when you have something that triggers that experience. And so we want to work out those experiences. We want to work out those past traumas that we might have had. And when we work it out, when we bring it up, and it's going to be hard at first, but when you bring it up and you bring up these emotions, you learn to accept them, right? And I have past videos. If you guys want to check that out, just go to my channel, and I have 2 or 3 videos on acceptance. But it's an act of acceptance, right? Instead of ignoring it and really just putting it down, saying that we're all right, saying that we don't have to think about it. If we don't think about it, we won't feel it. But that's not true, because if you have something trigger it and you still have that emotion, it doesn't even matter if you don't think about it. It's going to be brought up again. And so it's good to deal with it now. It's good to deal with it when you're conscious of it. So you bring it up, and it's an act of acceptance. You have to accept that emotion for what it is. You have to accept the experience for what it is. Understand that it's the past, and that you can't change the past. You can't change anything that happened in the past. Whatever happened in the past happened. So you can't change that aspect of it. You can't change the facts and what actually happened in the past. But, and this is a big but, what you can change is the interpretation of that event, of that situation, of that memory. You can't change the past, but you can change the point of view. You can change how you interpreted that experience. You can change the emotions you interpret with that emotion, or the emotion that you interpret with that memory, and that changes everything. For example, I'm sure we often had times where we had past experiences, right? Maybe in 4th grade, where we kissed a girl in front of the class and we felt embarrassed, right? Most likely, if we see that from this perspective of the present moment, we just laugh at it, right? We just laugh at that time because it was so long ago, and we realize that we're a different person now, right? So we laugh at that experience. But when we were in 4th grade, when we were in that experience, when we were that young, when we were in that point of view, that was maybe so embarrassing, right? Because we didn't see it from a future perspective. We just saw it from that perspective, of the perspective of the present moment from then. And we felt embarrassed. We felt like everyone was going to judge us. But we didn't see it from the perspective of how small it was. And, now in the present moment, now we look back and we're like, that was nothing, right? So it's kind of the same thing. It's looking back at the past experiences, the past traumas, and realizing how small it is, right? And, maybe seeing it from a different point of view. And from that point of view, from a different point of view, you change your interpretation. And when you change the interpretation of anything, you change the emotion of it. And so really, it's about changing your interpretation and changing the point of view of where you view a memory or a past trauma from. So if there's any past traumas, if there's anything that you guys might have experienced, instead of just ignoring it, instead of trying to not think about it because you don't want to feel that emotion, revisit those times, revisit those hard times, and try to see it in a different point of view. Try to take a different interpretation from it. Because when you're able to see it from a different point of view, you change your attitude, you change your emotion, you change everything about that situation. And now so you're able to go about it in a much more empowered way, in a much more empowered state, where you're now where you're now in control of your reaction to it. Whereas before you were a victim to it. Right? If it happened, you just felt a certain way. You just had that set interpretation. And so therefore you were a victim to that situation. But you want to become in an empowered state. You want to be able to control your reaction. You know, when you change, when you're able to control your expression, when you're able to change the thought that you have, the attitude that you have towards it, the mindset that you have towards it, you don't see it as the same. It doesn't bother you the same as it did before. So that's what it's all about. It's about revisiting those hard times, revisiting those past traumas. As hard as it might seem, as painful as it might be, revisiting those times and working it out and changing your mindset and your attitude and your point of view towards it makes all the difference. And you know, you'll just feel lighter. You'll walk around and you won't have that heavy burden that everyone seems to be walking around with. It might be hard at first, but just to revisit those times and to change your point of view is so powerful, and will bring you massive results. Will bring you so many results, and you'll feel happier as a result. So try that out, guys. Try out the exercise. Try and go back and, you know, find those past traumas and try to work them out. And in that state, in that empowered state, you'll go about your time just, you know, you'll feel lighter. You'll feel a lot more empowered. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to join the tribe, join A New Expression, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And yeah, until next time, guys, take care.